Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, and amazing Propagandacast with me, host Imperial Lane, the one and only master propaganda of like defender of the fatherland. Of it all 1v1 on Faymonville approach. In the northwest, it is Ildong, fighting for the German army, Deutschland. Here with the 44th Reichsgrenadierdivision Hoch- und Deutschmeister with the Triple Pioneer opening into breakthrough. In the southeast, it is a rotator, rotating those A's like it's his job. Fighting for freedom, democracy with a double scout opening. Pushing ahead here with the US 1st Armored Division. Arriving and following up here, of course, for the scouts. So we'll have to see what happens next. ND42 for Ildong. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my patron supporters for the continued generous and wonderful support of the Propagandacast. Keeps making all these videos possible, and a big thanks, keep commenting and liking on them as well. Helps immensely with the YouTube algorithms. So, off we are. Heading out in a variety of directions. MD42, they're almost done for Ildong. South side Pioneers poking in. A bit of a poke. So, of course, Triple Pioneer openings are focus here from the Wehrmacht to try and just grab more points and then, try and hold some of it. In a sense, admitting that Grenadiers just aren't that great, and in this case, bring using them before to try and stabilize some part of the map. Of course, have to see how that works out. South side Riflemen poking forward with the scouts in tow. North here, Pioneers with the scout teams. Roll here, Pioneers got the southern munitions. North, south munitions. Center, north. Anyways, small distinctions inside. Another route squad here, they rotate in south side, so it's going to put its focus, meaning, of course, Ildong focusing north is going to prove to be quite fortuitous. Another route squad, they rotate almost done. Pioneers here holding the line, but that's going to be line they can only hold for a few seconds before they get absolutely overwhelmed by the riflemen there. Coming crashing in like a herd of reindeer through the doors of a shopping centre. 8 Grenadiers squad there for Ildong. Scouts poking forward to the Pioneers to scrap this on the field point. Of course, southern one falling to America. Grenadiers almost on there for Ildong. At the end here. Grenadiers standing at the ready there for Ildong and Deutschland. 585 so far. Tiny lead here for Rotato Ildong. Obviously, it's just not even 3 minutes of the game, so it's nothing really match for our squad. Copying for 2. That's good here in the early game for Ildong to catch one squad here, but Scout to flank, threaten the flank. And so is the other Raft squad. One retreating here, the line of the machine, and perhaps a theoretical chance to stop the other Raft squad. More on the way for Rotator. Setting up, can he set up in time? Looks like he will, and the Raft's going to then get pasted. Yes, point blank range here by the MD42. A Rotator's rush here did not succeed, instead cost him quite a few casualties. And now the Scout is trying to hold up. There you go. Grenadiers quickly becoming machine gunners there. Fun fact, the Grenadiers in the German Infantry Corps were actually trained to be able to perform all the roles in an Infantry Corps, meaning if, like, say, the machine gunner, expired, the next one in line, you can basically pick up the machine and just keep performing this role, so. Little fun fact. There, south side Pioneers for the Scouts. Pioneers are definitely looking like they're going to lose it here. Almost got the Scout, he's hoping to it, but yeah, Rifleman here definitely pushes Ildong to have to switch attention here. Also, medic station, no additional infantry has me thinking there's going to be either Luftwaffe Company rush or Panzergrenadier Company rush. Also, come with these Triple Pioneer openings, you actually just go for very light element here, units out of that one, and then you just rush out the next tier, though Inch Ildong so far is not doing the rushing part. Yeah, there we go, Luftwaffe Company, in this case not Panzergrenadier Company. I feel like you typically see more Panzergrenadiers out of this, but here we are. Medic station, of course, also planning with healing. We got the MP40 upgrade, I'm surprised we got rapid productions here. He's going to be pushing out the fast 2-to-1. Grenades and infantry support center here for a Rotator. The Forces of Freedom quickly moving in to grab as much of that they can. Of course, very much helped by the Scouts and their high capture speed. So, we'll be seeing an MP40 for the Grenadiers, possibly, but unlikely. Incidentally, that fact, he's going to be focusing on flamethrowers for the Pioneers because that typically tends to be a better upgrade, actually. Better range than the flamethrower, better DPS, actually, as well. So the flamethrower just tends to be a better investment than getting your Grenadiers MP40s, truth be told. So, gonna get that 2-to-1, I imagine, as soon as possible. Though right now, the pressure on the field point is going to make this a bit of a tall climb here for Ildong against a Rotator. And we got artillery beacons as a Rotator actually went advanced infantry. Bit of an interesting twist here, seeing as Spec Ops has just been so popular lately. due to the SSF commandos being, quite frankly, you know, insanely good. And of course the whiz-bang. So interesting choice here from A-Rotate to actually go outside of that particular meta-normative strategy at the moment. 2-1 down point for Ildong and Deutschland. Die leichte Panzerspähwagen.
Commander, it's done.
Rushing that rapid reduction, not as fast as of course you used to be able to, but still pretty fast. Northern points are being seized.
A victory point has fallen into enemy
Mines
control.
being laid down. 2-1 ready.
Enemy movement near a victory point.
That's us, boys.
Victory point now under
Rushing
enemy
in
control.
here. Going for the artillery beacon here. Ildong definitely applying the pressure. Captain there about to get a possible promotion to Major as the armored car rushes in, but no. Science City with the Ralph 20 instead here. Of course, should keep a safe distance here since I don't think he has seen the grenades, but you typically always assume your opponent has raised such
Losing the territory
grenades.
point. Enemy
Back
contact.
further there for Ildong. The Flieger up there can only Leipzig. Not doing what he can there. Got being called in courtesy of the artillery beacon here. Several of them out of course here for a rotator. Certainly when the American advances, they had a lot of artillery. They're actually pretty good at coordinating. In fact, one of the special skills of the Second World War, they were incredibly good at coordinating. That was in fact one of the things to be less discussed about the German army. It was actually not very good at it. Like, the divisions basically did have a good amount of artillery, but they couldn't like really coordinate it beyond the divisions a lot of the time. Unless like especially set up like a special like, you know, command headquarters for it. It was like not organic like corpses just start sort of casually gliding there. Got a wipe here on a rotator. Ildong's armored car getting the boot in there. Just gonna be getting hit by an anti-tank grenade, but no. Except for the range thing before two. Black 30 backing things up further. EIs there getting pace of heavy automatic fire. And we also have a mortar team here out for a rotator. With the dish the D42 and for that matter the Flak 30. That means a rotator has a good amount of light artillery on hand by the beacon and the mortar. And the captain once he gets into one of the picks. So yeah, a lot of artillery here, just so much mortar fire.
Rifles have completed our order.
Again, artillery beacons here and there. Gets good coverage across the map. You can see there. Covers light indicating to his opponent's side of the map. And similarly here as well. So, definitely makes it tougher for Ildong to fight around the center. Mines being set as well there by the artillery beacons, which of course basically presents another problem here for Ildong. Which of course is he can't even like really lay down mines. They're just getting set off with the barrages. Armored car knocked out here. Splendid work by a rotator. Jaegers on the way for Ildong. We got the armored support on this unit for Ildong, like the means of the ability to try and turn the tide. Engineers for a rotator. So much mortar fire here.
Damn it! Someone get us out of here!
American mortar troops are definitely being put to a test. In terms of like just rate of fire.
Metal boys. Promotions just came through. I'm hit, man.
Rather than getting flash fire and again more mortar fire. It just makes it difficult for like Ildong like to just use cover in like any
Territory sector
area
claimed by
close
the
to
enemy.
these two, for that matter the mortar. It's very nasty stuff there, the rotator. Another last one on the way there. We do have Rangers unlocked as well here for a rotator to try and turn the tide here, or further apply pressure. There's as much need of tide turning at the moment for the Americans. Got the Flak 30 now being hit by mortar fire. I imagine it's gotta be a bit frustrating here for Ildong to just constantly, just whenever we move, like just gets hit by American mortar fire. Of course, the Jaegers low on health though. I think that is pushing the luck here, honestly.
Get down!
South side here, Punny's pushing back the captain somehow. You can use some minesweepers checking for German mines. Not be too sure for so. Oh, the Flak 30 got grabbed here. One of the things going on. But there go Flamethrower team and Jaegers to the rescue. Denies it to a rotator. Very close call though. Exceptionally close. So he can soon-ish go for the Bibel and Flak Panzer here to put pressure on his opponent. machine gun quick repositioning. Southern field front to Deutschland as well. He's attempted being fallen.
Infantry! Get
Lost control of the sector.
Push for the field point north here, but the Americans again supported by that so big. I mean, like, this one's right provided so much value here to a rotator. Like, these are, in the right circumstances, the right maps, incredibly good, like this map, for example.
Pushed us off a sector. Defend our victory point.
Definitely a powerful tool here for the American player. Just pressure the German, make it difficult going for like just utilize cover at all.
Captured a victory point.
Or for that matter, just fight like within a certain half of the map. We get a grenade off here, beacon knocked out again at least. At least they can't take a lot of damage. Well, so 406 Captain Rifle putting forward, Grenade is withdrawing a bit.
MG-42! Mortars overhead!
Swing to the MG-42 getting suppressed. Rangers joining in here for a rotator.
Come to it, boys! Get on with it! Rifles losing
Smoke
integrity!
deploys well. Effective work there, of course, by the mortar crew there under a rotator's command. German centre here of the 44th Reichsgrenadier Dritte Reichsgrenadier Company is giving way here. American forces swiftly advancing to cover the smoke effectively and brutally. Grenadiers on the south side here also getting pummeled. And the machine way too close here, definitely a great way to machine and grenaded. At least it didn't get wiped. Quite painfully filled on. Expensive. And now we got the big one on the way here. At least for now, there's one crucial distinction, which is a rotator has no real anti-tank weapons. It's got sticky bombs and can drop in some weapon crates for the Rangers, hook their bazookas, but otherwise he's going to be very vulnerable to the Flak Panzer. White as well here. So Ildong certainly might be in a bit of trouble in some regards, and otherwise he is a fierce opponent, and he's just about to get fiercer. There you go, up north here, beacon detected, gonna get wrecked. I've also did some good work there, and there you go. Flamethrower pioneers wipe. Not grabbing the flamethrower, it was interesting. Figured that would be a bit of a slam dunk pickup. And now we got the beam moving in, the Rangers are low on health. Definitely pushing his luck here. Low on health. Not exactly low on numbers either. And there's a beam on the way, which typically if you see like Jaegers and a flak 30, you know your opponent's going to look for confused, at which point you should typically look to prepare for the Wirbelwind. Because your opponent, since you don't have any anti-tank weapons, they're going to absolutely just roll over you with the Wirbelwind. Which is, looks like what's about to happen here. So, obviously a rotator handles this. Looks like he's liking that Ildong does not pursue too aggressively. He's probably concerned about sticky bombs or other surprises. West captain pushed back, engineers forced off. We drop in some weapons here for the Rangers. What will a rotator do?
The sector's been overrun. It's theirs now.
105-67. Passport they're getting blasted. There we go, weapon dropping away here for a rotator. He's got the Ranger ability that gives them some extra bonuses depending on the weapon they pick up. So, he's probably hoping for bazookas here. And at least Santa Claus somewhat complied, at least dropped one bazooka. Meanwhile, more Jaegers filled on.
Reports of enemy movement near our victory point.
393 versus 367. Rangers poking northwards, southwards. We've got scouts rapidly moving in. They're artillery observers.
They've captured a victory point.
Black Panther southwards. Tank depot for a rotator. Moving for Shermans most likely. Maybe a few Hellcats. And of course, he could go for the Hellcat first, just like trying to just deal with this Wirbelwind much faster. Plus, potential other Wirbelwinds that Ildong might cause get. Not uncommon for map players like go for like 2 Wirbelwinds and you could ignore them. There you go, Team Surge being down, but Black Panther 366 to 367. Ildong close to the get victory point wise. Effectively taking it now. Wiping his favour. And he's also taking a rotator in terms of casualties. So, American forces here, definitely caught unprepared by the Flak Panzer, which is again something you really need to keep an eye on. If you see Jaegers or a Flak 30 out of your opponent, you should almost always prepare for a Wirbelwind. So your rotator not doing that is definitely going to be quite costly. And there goes only anti-tank weapon team. The Rangers with the bazooka are forced back. already, leaving A Rotator's front line
Commander, we've lost the
woefully
sector.
unprepared for the Black Panzer as Ildong charges in for Deutschland.
You have command points ready to spend. 105 howitzers are now
How to
available
prepare for A Rotator? I don't think he needs those, particularly right about now.
We've lost the
Can go for
territory.
Hellcat or Sherman soon. Certainly should get some armor up soon here as Ildong.
Engineers, take an enemy fire!
So we got a bit of action here and there, but right now the Americans are definitely facing a lot of difficulty courtesy of the German army, as Ildong and the 44 are looking to just gain more and more terrain here. The Jaegers getting some damage in with a scoped
Victory point
T-43s.
now under enemy control.
There we go, Sherman for A Rotator, good both versus Vivalent, and of course the Infantry.
Stay low!
So, we shall see how Ildong responds to that. I mean, he could go for Mardus, so he's going for another Vivalent right now. By Jaegers with a Panzerschreck.
Engage at the front!
A munitions point is being attacked.
Enemy lost it!
I suppose we could just try and ignore it and pretend it just isn't there at all. That rampaging Sherman tank sat right over there. I don't know what you're talking
We're
about.
down to 300 points.
German armor's done.
Nearby squads will be reinforced, Commander.
51 versus 55.
What's our target?
German armor's done. Maybe he needs to fast clearing up the mine. Thumbs up.
Deploy.
Good spot here for a mine, by the way, because it's basically a bottleneck here, so like it becomes very easy to like just catch a unit here. There's like, you know, only a certain amount of path your opponent can take here, meaning a mine here is going to be quite effective. It's also very likely to be traversed, so again, high chance of the mine also that way doing some damage, maybe catching a lot of units. Plus, again, the bottleneck further serves that there's a lot of infantry, they get like bunched up, meaning the mine has increased chance of like doing some damage. So, in that sense, very good spot for mining, very good spot for like, you know, checking for mines.
Round's ours. Got the word from battalion command.
I believe he's referring to the artillery observer beacon where there's a bit of a bug at the moment, or use the little thing there. Adding the cooldown. Forgot about that actually. It's been a while since she got same as cool for Spec Ops. I kind of forgot about it and we're pointing out. It's obviously not a dictator. Mardus here in response from Ildong here to the Sherman. Fortunately for Ildong, A Rotator isn't playing his Sherman spots aggressive as good here. Which does help ensure that Ildong's lack of like heavier anti-tank assets doesn't like explode that fast. Jump with the damage engine. Grenades. Super far there. Flak plan's a bit debuffed there. Getting that Sherman fixed up rapidly.
We're down to 200 points.
Less than 2 points left. Favorite trader really starting to go a bit awkward for him again. Like these double flak plans and just this complete lack of like any significant to do with them. There's really proven to be a significant operational error here by A Rotator if anything. And a big win for Ildong. It really just meant like, you know, you could like instantly invest into two of these, which again, if your opponent doesn't like do anything significant counter them, can get really painful really fast. So definitely an error there by A Rotator to allow the Villains just to go around uncontested for that long. And of course, on top of that, when he did get the Sherman out, he also, I think, played it perhaps a bit too passively. I mean, obviously, should to some extent tactically assume his opponent does have some response to it, but even then, like, you know, considering what he saw, he should at least be able to also infer to some degree this opponent throws a lot of counters. Now his Sherman is down, didn't even do that much. Ildong will move for officer quarters, only boosting the Vivalent, the Jaegers, and the Marder. And under flag 30, only of course increasing the problems here for Rotator. So A Rotator, I think, needs to like reconsider his tactics and strategy at the moment, because right now he's playing in a manner that definitely is only making the job easier for Ildong. Like he's feeding the Fragment to the Vivalents on a silver platter. Serving. Oh, Jaegers and self-wipe though. Good tactical win there. Rotator takes up one infantry squad here. Crucially, one of the more air-equipped advanced infantry squads. Definitely poses a bit of a loss there for Ildong. Hellcat on the way. M18 tank destroyer. firing down death. Durchbruch activated here by Ildong. Trying to go up as much range as possible. Mortar being met with the flak panzers. Hellcat slowly on the way here for a rotator.
The victory point has fallen into enemy control.
Task completed.
Bit of smoke there from a rotator trying to buy some time here. More Jaegers for Ildong.
We got the word, gentlemen.
Howitzers have received free fire drills, Commander.
Then we got free fire drills for the howitzer. Not a bad sort of thing for the map. The problem is that right now he's got big ratios and can't really afford to like build a howitzer against what Ildong is doing. Plans the Grenadiers still up over Northern Fuel. Black handling to the rifleman.
Defend our victory point. We're losing it.
Being sent to the Hellcat.
They have taken our victory point.
I'm getting mauled here by heavy flak fire. There you go. Hellcat was double influence here. No support here. Golden opportunity for a rotator. I think he's realizing he's been too slow. Ildong caused me not realizing. Oh, it's Schnitzel. He left his flak pants out that low, but no. Bit of that white frost around what it's called there. Locking up the line of sight. Hellcat. He withdraws, and so does a rotator. Could have been a lot uglier though for Ildong. Still, a rotator needs to pick up the pace here. Southside Rangers doing a bit more poking about here. Bit of car around the center. Tulip service here for a rotator.
Taking it personally.
Mortar fires to the Jaegers. Laid on the smoke shot before moving in, honestly. Did not do so, which of course feeds the flat earlier. I think some of them are easy hits.
Where the hell did they come from?
That's him in the Jaegers into that with that low health, I think isn't particularly... Okay, there you go, smoke out though. Unfortunately, it lands in such a way theoretically could block it, but the Jaegers does. Only 40 flanking in from the north side, Hellcat in the south, Phoenix from the center. Support of the marchers. Attaching very sound here, ensures the Hellcat can't as easily just deal with the flak panzers without risking, you know, taking a lot of damage. Plus, we've got a Jaeger squad with Panther Strike, but likely another one on the way there. So, Ildong there, definitely reacting a bit better to what a rotator's doing. I feel like the rotator did to what Ildong was doing. Another to the radio beacon. Shot there from the Hellcat. Got one ready there.
Territory point is no longer under our control.
Southern point there, so at least he's managed to halt the bleeding, actually start bleeding as opponents in service victory point again. Pushing again using northwards. Jaegers advancing. Reflexible beacon. Got one of the beacons, they're very good.
Lock down the sector.
That's a lovely east up north. In this case, actually just let's fight the building there. So the beacon, there you go. That's fine. Don't Hellcat in a bit of a struggle.
Sector lost. No contact.
Amazing that with no flak fire. Bring in the Hellcat to blast away. It's looking pretty rough here for a rotator at this point.
The victory point has fallen into enemy control.
Both the Grenadiers being plastered with fire there. Okay, reinforcing healing. We got 108 was turning 7.
IP ahead of us. Get in formation.
Onto the coordinate basically able to like shift around with the cooldown. This can just fire off fast, especially at the back. And mounts to there, and that's why it's destroyed abuse.
Bingo fuel in. Heading back to base.
Elizabeth's there to observers. Okay, we're drunk. Got the units to move back to the Grenadiers. Jaegers back to punish the lot of fleet. Captain putting up an absolutely ferocious last stand, also pointless, unfortunately.
The captain's been killed.
He just gets shredded in a matter of seconds from W. 96 was 287. Hellcat letting loose. Jaegers pushing in southwards towards the centre of the base here. Got the mortar ready. Rangers acely moving in. Infantry shoots and misses. Armada here we got heavily pressured center here. Situation favourite center, yes. Slammed here, got most of the far end on the party's Rangers rushing in. But they have to rush out. They take so much damage from 2 wins. I'm not entirely sure what able to take to happen there. Except this Rangers is getting turned into, well, goulash.
Lost a scout squad.
Scouts down. Being deployed here to cover the Rangers. Nice save there by a rotator. Thumbs up. Mortar snatched by the German army here. Okay, we're going for one of those wins. Got it! Still got one to go. Never mind the other stuff here. And Ildong, honestly, I think he's just holding out for a Tiger tank. I mean, he's got the command points. He's got the fuel. He just needs manpower. At which point, I think a rotator is about to go down the plumbing and he's not careful.
No route too challenging. What have you got?
I've got everything fixed. I need more armor. Also, absolutely dangerous to the bird. At this point, that's going to have to wait a long time with everything else happening here. Yep, Tiger and began sending bombing runs as well there, Ildong.
Reports of enemy movement near our victory point.
We're up, boys.
Territory lost. Victory point now under enemy control.
Observers was the Aegis. Range coming in, which effective to wipe them up in the treaty. Mark 2 frag grenade here. Almost got them. Almost got them.
Commander,
And down they go.
enemy holds all victory points.
56 was 287.
The enemy
53.
has taken territory from us.
Rotator is Anslook.
Down to only 50
In a really
points.
rough position. Something, again, drastically needs to change. Tactically and strategically. Can you imagine you've got 105 Sherman the way for a rotator, obviously a bit more durable, you take more hits, also blast through the infantry, though less ideal versus say the Vibrant and the Marder. 29 to 87. Trying to push up the center to get heavy automatic fire, the A74-2 and the Flak 30 here, doing immense amounts of damage and of course suppressing
One
the
of our
entire
sectors
unit.
is now in enemy hands.
A rotator is in some pretty deep sauce. Got 20 versus 187. Got a mortar rain down. We got the Helkin hangback. Sherman almost done here. And there we go. Arriving for a rotator. It's down to 16 points though. Unfortunately for a rotator, as it hits, so does the Tiger tank. So then by the 504th Schwerer Panzerabteilung. And with what a rotator's left and with 2 victory points left, this does very much look like game over. Short of divine intervention. I just do not see how a rotator at this point can win. Like, German wing ahead here though.
We've lost a scout squad.
Getting wiped. He's technically buying some time now, but got the Indy for 2 even.
Enemy movement near a victory point.
But he's running out of units, he's running out of time. The only thing he's not running out of is enemies. South Rifleman to make the gun, these Jaegers. Tiger tank, Marder, dealing in the center here, got sitting bottom runs, machine gun wiped. 7 points left. 6, northern point forward to the Germans roll here. Charging with the Hellcat here from a deep flank. Great if it happened much sooner, it didn't though. At this point, it's very much game over. I thought we were going to see how a rotator can win at this point. Like, he was doing well up to a certain point, but the problem very much just became he just wasn't ready for those Vibrants, which, again, he should have expected. He should have anticipated the Vibrants. Like, he knew his opponent gone for Luftwaffe company, and they will almost always go for Vibrant if they think they can make it work against you. And clearly it worked here. And the problem was, at that stage, just a rotator on such a position couldn't easily react. He had to wait for armor. At that point, he was already, like, really losing out there. So, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this match. I'll learn something from it. This is Imperial St. Cheers, and see you all tomorrow for another exciting episode. Bye, everyone.